All right, welcome to the ClickFix demo page for the contract signature portal. Then go ahead and click on the contract signature portal here and take a look at the demo. So first thing you want to notice is that there are some different front end options based on if you are a client signing a contract or a team member checking the contract, and these are just examples of what's possible with the system. First thing is that you can set up as many contracts as you'd like. So this is kind of thought of in a way where you would have maybe a membership site or maybe some sort of onboarding process where you have a new client coming in that you need them to sign some different documents. So you can set up as many of those as you'd like. In this particular case, we have these past contracts are only available for 72 hours because this is a public demo page. But of course, you could have it there. You could have it set up where there are no time limits, and that these things would always be available. This would be in a real-world application. This would be a page that would be only available to me as a client, and so I could either sign a new version of this, or you could obviously hide these options once one of them is signed, and only show me ones that I've signed in the past, or you could have it set up to be where it is only showing the things that have been signed previously. The first thing I want to do is let's ignore these past contracts for a second here. And let's just say that we have a purchase order that needs to be signed. You've put out a proposal, you've put it into my members area, and you tell me, okay, I need you to sign the purchase order before we can go ahead with the work. Now this works just like this is just an Ontraport page, so you can add in different fields and or pull in information from URL parameters or the contact record or any of the normal sources. So instead of just being the lorem ipsum text here, you could have additional fields. You could have it be where you want somebody to specify how many of something that they're ordering, or to maybe have a checkbox or something that verifies that they are in fact ordering that many pieces of a widget or whatever it is that you're selling. Or you could do like some contracts do, if it's a multi-page contract, for example, where you have little initial boxes next to the different sections. So this initial setup is however you'd like it to be. Same goes for the verification information that you require for somebody to actually go ahead and sign a contract. So for example, for us, we just want their first name and their last name, let's say, and we want them to be able to sign. Now, this signature field here, I'm going to draw it with the mouse, which is going to make it look horrible, but this is also has touchscreen support, so if I were to use an iPad for this, then I would be able to go ahead and just use my finger, iPad, iPhone, any of those, anything with a touchscreen, you could actually have them sign it right there. So this is also something that could potentially be used in an in-person instance, where you have a contract generated for a salesperson that's out in the field, and you could have them have the customer go ahead and just sign the contract right then and there. And so once you submit, it's going to show us the signed page, and the person then can print it for their record. So if I'm on a Mac, so I'd hit Command P. On a Windows computer, they would hit Command or Control P. And you can see here that it has the purchase order contract and it has my signature here. I don't have a printer set up, so it's just going to save it as a PDF. That's what most people will probably do for their records anyway. Or they could go ahead and just print it out as a physical copy. After they're done reviewing, okay, this is the signed contract. So once they're done reviewing that, they would be able to go back to their customer portal, and they would be able to see all these past contracts that have been signed, so they can go in anytime and take a look at that. So they can see that it was signed. The information that's displayed on, now for when you have this set up in your account, it won't go back to the main screen, it'll go straight back to here for your front-end clients. They'll actually be seeing this page instead of that other screen, of course. They'll be able to see their past contracts like I mentioned, but they can also sign new contracts for different things. And it will also be available to them either inside of a membership area like we have it here. This is a built in on the Ontraport membership system, so this is just automatically pulling in their data and allowing them to see what they've signed. Or you could also set it up to go through a special URL, so if you're sending out an email confirmation and you don't have a membership portal set up, you could still do it in such a way that they'd be able to see their data by visiting a special URL. And so, like I said, you can go ahead and take a look at the ones that have been viewed. They can print it out anytime. But then, since this is just an Ontraport page, these contracts are just Ontraport pages, you can also, and Ontraport forms, you can also have it set up to be where the backend system is going to go ahead and detect all of the different automations that you want to have fired based on a specific field being updated, for example. So the cool thing about that is that you could have it perhaps assign a task to a team member that, in this case, Ken went ahead and signed the purchase order. So go check that out and make sure that everything was initialed. Obviously, with your form settings, you can make sure that they actually fill out every single spot on the form. But there may be cases where you need to go in and verify that they did in fact say that they wanted the same quantity that you agreed to on the phone or whatever. So you can have this also be a front-end system where the team member doesn't need to actually go into the Ontraport backend at all. They have a page and they have access, also member protected, that would give them access to see all the signed documents from everybody in the system, or certain people, or just certain documents. You can have that set up however you'd like. And they would, of course, be able to view the document, but they'll only be able to view the signed document. They won't be able to edit anything or anything like that. So once this loads, you can see that it has to pull in information. So then you can see that it is the same client. That's their signature. And this person could, of course, do the same thing, Command P or Control P, and print that out if your business needs a hard copy of the signed contract. So the advantage to that, of course, is that this speeds up the workflow. They don't have to go into the Ontraport backend, search for the person, then go in and go to a page and set everything up, or try and pull their signature and paste it onto any kind of PDF or anything like that. This is just all set up, ready to go. So hope that video gives you a good overview of what the contract signature flow is all about. If you have any questions, as always, please don't hesitate to contact us over at clickfix.io.